Hey everyone, it's Kirk McLean here, and you're watching Clay's Canucks Commentary.
Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks Commentary live, presented to you by Van City Experts Real Estate. I'm your host, Clay Emo, Canuck Clay, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take for Monday night, October the 7th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. I would just want to let you know, my channel has grown by about 70 subscribers over the past 3 or 4 days. So I want to thank everyone who's been helping me out. My actual vlog on the Canucks roster did really well today, over 5,000 views. So I appreciate everyone that's been taking the time to watch, recommend, share my videos, or at least mostly just watch them. That's the biggest thing. So thank you to all of you. And thanks. Monday night's the late one because Parker and I just went Canucks After Dark, and we did an hour and 15 today because we did our annual prediction show. And I see a lot of you, especially Viper, joking around in the chat that wanted to redo your entry and everything. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out Canucks After Dark. Look up our video that we just did. And then inside of that video, inside of the description, we have a little predictions contest. It's a Google form where you can predict a lot of the, a lot of the things for the Vancouver Canucks: point totals, penalty minutes, standing, save percentage, everything like that. So make sure you check it out if you have time. Moderators, do what you need to do to keep this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame franchise members, thanks for your support. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston in Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland province, country, continent, around the world, thank you for being here. You know that I know that you could be doing anything else, watching or else, getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here with me, know how much I always appreciate you. And I never, ever take you for granted. Thank you. I don't know how you pronounce this. M. Maguru fan. Sounds Japanese. Maguru fan 40. I just subbed and liked. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I noticed your name also in Canucks After Dark, or maybe it was here last night. Regardless, I appreciate you being here. And I usually start at 11. I usually start at 11 on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Mondays, I start at 11:15 because of Canucks After Dark. But today we went a little bit late with Canucks After Dark. So that's why I started even past 11:20. But I appreciate you being here for sure. This is how all of you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe to the channel and get active in the chat section. You can like this video. There are 40 of you in here still on a late Monday night. Thank you. 13 likes. Let's bump that up to at least 20. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. Gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. So full disclosure, usually on Monday nights, I will do games night. We'll play some games because I usually don't like to rehash, relitigate everything that we just talked about on Canucks After Dark. However, games night's also a nice filler when there's not a lot of Canucks news to talk about. But during the regular season, if there's a game on a Monday night, or if there's some big Canucks news, then I will forego games night. And even at the risk of repeating some of the things that we talked about on Canucks After Dark, I will not do a games night because I realize too that not all of you here, even though you should, not all of you were at Canucks After Dark just an hour ago. So all to say tonight, because of all the Canucks roster news, I am not going to be doing a game night tonight. Rather, I want to talk about the Canucks news for about 10 to 15 minutes and then turn it over to all of you for about 15, 20 minutes and then have a shorter show tonight. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope you understand. We will have plenty of time to do game nights throughout the season. But right now, because of all the big news from the Canucks today, I think it's more appropriate that we talk about Canuck stuff as opposed to playing some online games. And I did not know, I know it's kind of bad in Tampa. So as Ricky said at the end of Canucks After Dark, who knows if it's going to affect the way that the Canucks games in Tampa and in Sunrise next week. So we will see. We will see what happens. So today I'm going to go through this pretty quickly, but give it its due. Its justice. But there were kind of a couple things that happened today that shaped the Canucks roster as we speak. So I want to get into it. So yesterday on our show, we had a big show yesterday. We talked about the two big transactions from yesterday, and that was trading Tucker Pullman and then re-signing Niels Höglander. So we talked about that in depth yesterday. Today, we learned that the Canucks assigned the following three players to Abbotsford. Arshdeep Bains, who had a really good preseason, but he is waiver exempt, meaning no other team can claim him. So you can send him down to Abbotsford, bring him up as many times as you want without having to worry about losing him. So no surprise that way that he got sent to Abbotsford. Eric Brandstrom, who we got in the Tucker Pullman trade, did clear waivers. He had to clear waivers because he's played X amount of games in the NHL, and no one claimed him. So he now can go to Abbotsford and be like a number one defenseman on the left side there, or at least fight Christian Wolanin for that honor. And then goaltender Yuri Patera. You might say, Clay, how did we wind up back with him? Well, we know that we lost him to waivers to Boston last week. Then they re-signed Jeremy Swayman and said, okay, we don't need Yuri Patera anymore. So Boston put him back onto waivers. The Canucks claimed him, and because the Canucks were the only team to claim him, they don't have to put him on waivers because everyone else had a chance to pick him up just now. So they can send Yuri Patera down to Abbotsford. If another team had claimed him, then if their waiver ranking was higher than the Canucks, then they would have taken him, but no one did. So Yuri Patera, a week after leaving, is back with the organization and going to report to Abbotsford. And then we have Dakota Joshua and Thatcher Demko. Following players have been placed on season opening injured non-roster. I will explain what that means in a second. Before that, thank you, Alfred. Just like last night, or he was one of two donors last night, helps get the donation train running tonight. So let's give Alfred some love in the chat right now. And Alfred says, it's like Patera didn't go anywhere. Yes, except he probably didn't feel that. He probably had to take a flight to Boston and then turn around and come back. But yeah, for us, and in terms of impact on the Canucks, it was like he didn't go anywhere. That is so true. Thank you, Alfred, for your generous donation. Thank you for getting the donation train out of the station. Again, let's give Alfred some love in the chat. So this is how the Canucks opening day roster is going to look. And we went through the line combos yesterday, so we don't have to do it again today. But, and it's funny, the way they link, the first thought was that these were lines and deep pairings, but no, Besser, Höglander, Bluger is not a line. Miller, Pettersson, and DeBrusk, that's a pretty sick line, but that's not a line. Just as Susie and Juleson isn't a deep pairing, and neither is Hronek and Friedman. So these are listed in numerical order, but not left to right, up, down, up, down. So the forwards in numerical order: Besser, Garland, Miller, Heinen, Höglander, Suter, Pettersson, Sherwood, Bluger, Ratu, DeBrusk, Amon, and Sprong. So notice Dakota Joshua is not listed on there. I'll get to that in a second. Notice that Connor Garland is listed on there, even though he's injured right now, but he hasn't been placed on any list or anything like that. So those are the 13 forwards. Then you have the 8 defensemen. Yeah, Magaru, they do it like that because it's numerical order. It's not even alphabetical, because if they did alphabetical, then the numbers will be out. I've seen some teams release their rosters, though, alphabetically without numbers. Regardless, you're not going to put a list out there like this with forward lines and D pairings. This made the most sense. So numerically, the defensemen, not left and right, top to bottom: Susie, Hronek, Forbert, Hughes, Juleson, Friedman, Myers, Desharnais. We know they're going to line up Hughes, Hronek, Susie, Myers, Forbert, Desharnais with Friedman and Juleson. And then Shilovs and Lankinen as your goaltenders. Thatcher Demko not on this list. The biggest thing here is you can dress an active roster of 23 players, and you always have 18 skaters, 12 forwards, and 6 defensemen, and then 2 goalies. So that makes 20. 18 plus 2 is 20. So that means a team usually, if everyone's healthy, usually has 3 extra bodies. And we always talk about you can have 2 extra forwards and 1 extra D, or you can have 1 extra forward and 2 extra D, or who knows, when Demko comes back. Maybe the Canucks go one extra forward, one extra D, and one extra goalie, which is quite unheard of, but we'll worry about that later. You can see the Canucks have 13 forwards, so only one extra D, and they have 8 defensemen. Sorry, they have 13 forwards, so only one extra forward, and then they have 8 defensemen, 2 extra D. So those are your 3 extra skaters. So if you combine what I talked about earlier of Arshdeep Bains being sent down, so if they had kept Arshdeep Bains up, they would have 14 forwards, and they would have likely had to send Mark Friedman down and only have 7 defensemen. But you got to remember, and I talked about this last night, Friedman and Niels Oman require waivers to get down to Abbotsford. Now, maybe no one takes them, but maybe someone takes a chance on them and takes them. So it's safer for now to keep Friedman and Oman up. Aatu Raty and Arshdeep Bains, those were the 2 guys that aren't waiver eligible. So you don't have to worry about losing them. I think Raty can do more than Bains right now. He's more versatile. He can play center, and that is a huge advantage for Aatu Raty. Last thing I'll say about this roster, there's these 23 players and Demko and Joshua. So technically, they have 25 guys on their roster, and they still fit under the salary cap. Imagine if the Canucks did not make that Tucker Pullman trade yesterday. Imagine they had an extra $2 million on their cap. That means, for instance, Friedman and Aatu Raty wouldn't be in this lineup. So you would only have 12 forwards. You would only have 7 defensemen and the 2 goalies. So you would only have an active roster of 21 players and no extra forwards and only 1 extra D. So you'd only have 1 extra skater. So if you follow that math, that's critical why they made the Tucker Pullman trade yesterday. With that $2 million of savings, it meant 2 more roster players. And in my example, I use Friedman and Niels Oman or Aatu Raty, who all make $800 to $900 grand each. So that $2 million of savings from the Tucker Pullman trade meant we could have 2 more players on this roster. So we have full 23 players now, not 21 or 22, a full 23 player roster. Hopefully Garland's okay. And Dakota Joshua and Thatcher Demko on the roster, including their salary cap. And we are still under the salary cap. Why is that big, you guys? That is big because if you look here, the Canucks can now accrue cap space. I've talked about this many, many times. If the Canucks were over the salary cap, or put it this way, if the Canucks had to put Tucker Pullman on LTIR, long-term injury reserve, meaning out for at least 10 games in 24 days, then you can't accrue what's called deadline cap space. But the fact that the Canucks are under the cap, including Thatcher Demko here, including Dakota Joshua here, they're still under the cap. That means they can start to bank this deadline cap space. So right now, they have $2 million of deadline cap space, and that's only going to go up as long as they stay out of LTIR. By the way, just as a comparable, the Oilers, they have $4 million of cap space because they are almost $1 million under. I'm trying to think of who's a team that's in LTIR right now. Colorado. So Colorado. Oh no, they have. I'm trying to find a team that's in their LTIR pool already. You guys, who's a team that has a lot of injuries right now? Maybe none so far. Maybe they don't. Well, maybe they don't declare it until the season starts. Oh, here. So Montreal is a good example. They are minus 1.2 million. So they're over by 1.2. They may have to dip in here. I don't know actually. So maybe I should show this example once the season starts. But I do want to show you one last thing, and then I'll turn it over to all of you. Remember, I said there's 23 active skaters plus Joshua plus Demko. You see that right here. 13 forwards plus Joshua makes 14. 8 defensemen. 14 plus 8 is 22. And then 2 goalies plus Demko makes 3. 22 plus 3 is 25. So the Canucks have an active roster of 23 players plus Demko and Joshua to bring them up to 25. Yet they're still under the salary cap, and they can start to accrue cap space that they can use at the deadline. So I hope all of that makes sense. I want to show all of that to you and kind of prove to you today, demonstrate is the better word. Demonstrate why it was so important that the Canucks made that $2 million of savings off of the Pullman trade yesterday. So I will do my mid-show sponsor read, and then I will turn it over to all of you for your questions and comments. I want to give a shout out to my primary sponsor, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Give a shout out to my secondary sponsor, Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. You can see the link below, coachpatrickliu.com/clay. You can sign up for a free 5-day workout. Thank you to Gassy Jet Art for that fine artwork. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. Use the link tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off of your next purchase of Vessi shoes. Ways that you can get involved tonight. You can subscribe and get active in the chat section, get notified of my videos every single day. You can like the video. If you haven't liked it already, please do so. You can leave a donation like Alfred has done. You can gift a membership, buy your own membership, upgrade your own membership, use your monthly membership message, your Triple M. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. A couple other things. Don't forget, you can buy Canuck Clay merch at canuckclay.threadless.com. You can support me there. And then don't forget these shows this week. Right now it's Monday at 11:15. I still have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 11. We're going to do a lot of giveaways on Thursday's show. So make sure you join me Thursday and make sure you join me this weekend. 24-hour live stream on this Saturday and this Sunday. So I hope you join me for that as well. More details on that as the week goes on. So I want to just highlight a couple things, a couple questions that kind of came in. No, Eric, I did not. There's no formula, or at least I don't know the formula of how cap space is accrued. Let's just say this. The further you are under the cap, the more cap space you can accrue throughout the season. But then the further you are under the cap, it also means you're not utilizing your cap that efficiently. So it's kind of like a catch-22. The podcast, I usually upload it 15 minutes after the end of the show. I do it right away as opposed to the very next day. All right, RNG. Let's give RNG some love in the chat for his $2 donation. Jersey, should I buy at the game on Wednesday? Well, it really depends on who you like. I always like to buy jerseys of players who I think are going to stick around for a bit. It just makes me feel like it's a better investment. So RNG, what jerseys do you already have? And maybe that will kind of determine how you want to add to your collection. But more importantly right now, or at least important to me, RNG, thank you for the donation. Let's give RNG some love in the chat. Pareko, decent skater, good addition, shot block musician. What's his contract, Eric? And by the way, I saw that you're here for the first time in a while. You're always welcome. Thank you, Eric. I do not know Pareko's contract situation. Rome says get a Pettersson jersey. That's fair. That's fair. And then RNG just said sure. So I don't know. I don't know if he's agreeing or he's thanking you for the suggestion. Hughes might be good too. I right now of current Canucks, I have Hughes, PD, and Besser, the big three. I have a Horvat, but he's gone obviously. So thinking of a Miller next, considering his long contract. Hronik's got a long contract, but I don't mind him, but I just don't know if I'd be that excited to wear a Hronik jersey. So maybe my next one is Miller, or maybe even DeBrusk. We'll see. We'll see. What did Frank Cervelli do? I see his name on X today. He wrote an article about who has the best chance to win, to basically finish last and win the draft lottery. And he made a comment saying, with Johnny Gaudreau looking down from heaven, maybe he will bring the Blue Jackets some luck. I obviously his intention wasn't as poor as it turned out to be, but a lot of people jumped on him for being insensitive. So that's what happened to Frank Cervelli today. Pareko makes 6.5. Too expensive. Do you think the Canucks split the first two games 1-1, or do you think they go 2-0? I'm going to say they go 2-0. These are two beatable teams for sure. Black skate jersey is massive drip. Yes, it's awesome. Hey, Tyler, not sure if you hear when I explained it at the start. I don't want to go into it too much because I've already explained it in depth. Basically, It's not necessarily what time it is, even though I started 5 minutes late, more that we had enough Canucks talk today because it was a big day in terms of Canucks news. That's why. You could do, as Hugo said, a Yu-Gi-Oh, a jersey with no name or number, a little more versatile. Black skate Trevor Linden, that would be sick. Don't get a Demko unless he stays. Yeah, you can wait 2 years, hold out before you do that. Parayko 4 more years. Yikes, 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 yikes. How do you think the other Canadian teams this year are going to do? I think Edmonton's going to win the division. I think Canucks are going to finish second. I think Winnipeg's going to be battling for a playoff spot, borderline. I think Toronto's going to battle a top 2 in their division, much like Edmonton, Vancouver. And I think Montreal and Ottawa and Calgary do not make the playoffs. Maguru, I think Hughes is better right now. Pettersson makes $4 million a year more, but Hughes' contract's a steal, and Hughes is the captain, and I think Hughes is more consistent right now. Petey has the ability to be a franchise-altering centerman, and I hope he can still do that. But right now, I'd say Hughes is a tiny bit better of a player. Anderson, he'd be good, but not cheap. Not cheap. When do I think Demko returns? Second week of November. That's my guess. Canucks have maybe the deepest forward lines in the league wide this season. I think they're among I think there is a bit of a drop off, admittedly, between the second and third line, but that's like what it's like for a lot of teams. I think Edmonton's top 9 is comparable for sure. I also think that I was looking at this. I was thinking, I think the Rangers are pretty deep. I think Dallas are pretty deep when it comes to forward lines, but I think definitely the Canucks have among the top 5 forward groups in the league for sure. For sure. I have a sense that warning, so in StreamYard, it's showing that my connection isn't great, but on YouTube, it's showing my connection's fine. So I think my video is going to go a bit choppy for whatever reason. I think maybe my computer is doing too many things. I don't know. No. Who's better, Miller or Besser? If you're talking about points, it's Miller. Leadership, probably Miller. Nicer guy, Besser. But I would argue that I would say that Miller is the better player for sure. RNG, great point about the new Fanatics jerseys. Lucas, I don't think Lucas is in the chat right now, but I think that I'm going to just delete. Someone deleted the message and then it came back, but I'm going to delete the message again. The legendary Lucas Gates has also said to me on a couple occasions that the Fanatics jerseys fit more snug than the Adidas ones. So you will want to go one size up for sure. If Utah Hockey Club goes with the Yeti as the team name, would you keep the current jersey in color? Yep, I think so. I don't think you change the jersey color 1 year after going in there, no matter what they name the team. I think they're going to go with those colors for sure. You're not going to change them after a year. My dog passed away today. Thank you, Clay, and all for welcoming me, making me laugh, and putting a smile on my face. Your jokes make me belly laugh, and that is hard to do. Well, thank you. I think you're an easy critic because those jokes, some of them are pretty bad. And more importantly, I'm sorry to hear about your dog, Tristan. I have my dog, Mickey, and I know there's going to be a day where he's not going to be around. It's going to be very sad. What kind of dog did you have, Tristan? What was his or her name, and how old was he or she? Thank you. And I'm sorry for your loss for sure. Craig Button, as the Canucks winning the division, beating Winnipeg in round 1, then losing to Edmonton again in round 2. I know Oilers Rangers final. Yeah, I've seen a lot of projections that have Oilers in the final. Yeah, I think the consensus top 4 teams at least are Edmonton, Dallas, Rangers, and Florida. Wait, are Florida and Rangers in the same division? No, they're not. They're not. So yeah, those are the final 4 that I see a lot. But I would love for Vancouver to dethrone the Oilers. Eric, thank you for asking. I guess it's been a while. It happened on August 12th last year. And by the summer of this year, I was back to exercising, to playing sports. I still don't go all out playing volleyball, basketball, anything with a lot of jumping or cutting, but I am able to play pickleball, to bike, to walk, to bowl, to golf. So I'm slowly getting back into things, which I'm very excited about. The one thing that happened crazy, Eric, in the summer in August was I got cellulitis off of a bug bite, a bad infection in the Philippines. And without over dramatizing it, if I didn't get treated when I did, there was a chance it could have turned into something a lot worse. I'm not going to jump to flesh-eating disease like my friend Chris, but could have been a lot worse. So to answer your question, my Achilles is fine. Thank you. Still exercising, rehabbing, and hopefully get to even more sports that I love very soon. Yeah, I think you can try jerseys on in the store, RNG. I think you can. So Besser is a better person than Miller. McGrew, if I said that, I did. That's probably unfair for me to say. But Besser just seems to be a nicer guy than Miller. I wouldn't say he's a better person. But I know I've enjoyed my dealings with both for sure. Kraken homeowner is 1:30. Everyone's encouraged to play hockey tomorrow. Lots of tickets available for the opener at low cost. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Well, Angus, why was Seattle so dead set on being the first game out of the chute? Interesting stuff. When you go to a hockey game at this season, how do they determine when it's a special night? Yeah, they determine those nights prior, and they announce it, and they base it on certain themes for sure. I need to steal these stream ending jokes. It's a great conversation starter or a great conversation ender, but yes, take whatever jokes you want. What was your favorite Hughes moment in the Amazon Prime documentary? I really like Fangirl anytime they show Hughes talking on the ice, whether he's swearing or talking strategy or what the face-off play is. That's to me, like I like I don't mind the part of him cooking or watching hockey with his parents, but to me, the beauty of those shows is what happens on the ice and in the locker room. The Canucks can win the cup. Yep. I think the Canucks can win the cup as well. I don't know if they will, but that's pretty cool that he made that prediction. Sunrise is Southern Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the worst team, you can run it. Weren't the Kings the 8th seed the year that they won? Yeah, Desharnais thinks Miller is a-hole. Blaze, Maltese cross, black and white. He was 5, almost 6. Got a big bump and could do nothing to save him. Oh, so only 6 years old. Tristan, please accept my condolences. I don't know how long the hurricane is going to go, because it's not just the actual hurricane itself. It's all the damage that happens after it, right? Yes, Carol, I will pray for you. And I think, please text me and we can arrange it outside of this stream. So we're not like coordinating schedules in front of everyone. If you can text me, that would be great, Carol. But I certainly will pray for you during my prayer hour. Hughes is articulate. I agree. Good role model and leader. Yeah, he's very, very scholarly. Reads a lot. RNG, I laughed so hard when I watched that. I'm just going back. What did you watch? What did you watch, RNG? What did you watch? I'm trying to see, RNG, what you're talking about now. Start Wednesday night, last one day or so of the hurricane. Okay. ESPN wanted a triple header. Western Conference team started at 1:30. Boston, Florida, and then they got Chicago and Utah. Thank you. Yeah, RG, no, let me know what message you're talking about, or just retype it. I don't see it, but I could be very slow. The last one I saw for you was anything can happen in the playoffs. The worst team to make the playoffs can win the cup. But I didn't see the message about what you referred to about laughing so hard when you watched it. With less distractions, how much of a step forward will the Utah club players take? Fangirl, good question. I don't even think it's about distractions. I just think they're a young team with a lot of good young players. Yes, Tyler, good. I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done. Thank you. Can't look at photos of him. I do not know whether I name him Blaze after hockey because he ran so fast. That makes sense. Is Hughes better than his brother? Oh, that's a good question. Jack Hughes is also very good. Top 10, 12 player in the league. Same as Quinn. Quinn's more accomplished, but Jack is very good. Jack's one of the top 5 centers in the league. Great to see you, Eric. Thank you. Great to see you. The owner was the distraction of Arizona. Jack does get hurt. I'm just waiting for RNG to repost what he said because I want to know what it was now. I'm curious. I am curious. Okay, let's go for 5 more minutes. Give me your impressions. You guys, give me your impressions. The fact that Arshdeep Bains got sent down, the fact that they were able to trade, get some cap space, and now have a full 23-man roster, and then a 25, including Demko and Joshua, not be over the salary cap. Let me know your thoughts on who might be a breakout player. So let's, last 5 minutes. Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on the roster and the decisions that the Canucks made today. Oh, the video where Connor McDavid yelled at his team, dig in right effing now. Yes. I've seen it many times, RNG. I don't know. I didn't mind it. Like I didn't laugh at him. I didn't feel sorry for him. It was more, he knew that they were in trouble, down 2-0 already. Maybe that's all we get. Maybe that's the one Daniel Sprong goal we get. Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, thank you. I did see it. Thank you, RNG. How do you think the Hughes family would deal with How do you think the Hughes family would deal with the New Jersey Vancouver Stanley Cup Finals? Well, I think it's a dream final, given that their players, all their sons would be in it, and I don't think they cheer for New Jersey because they have 2 of the players. I think it's a parent's dream, and they would just want to see good hockey and make sure their kids don't get hurt. Each Canucks win, I will donate $1 per win. You mean to me, Tristan, or go donate it to another cause and save it up for the end of the year? Bains will get called up to play. I think so too. Is Bains better than Lekkerimaki? He made further than him. Bains was the final cut. Yeah, Lekkerimiki's a lot younger though. Lekkerimiki's only 19 or 20, I believe. So if you're talking about better, I think Bains is more NHL ready. Let's put it that way. There we go. Rome says 2-1 for New Jersey. I think the roster is going to be really good this year. That's why I'm picking them to get more than 109 points. I also think that Rachel is going to do really well. Okay, I get the 109 points part. Rachel. I'm not sure who Rachel is. Let me know, Carol, if you can clarify who Rachel is, because now I'm curious. Yeah, no, I'm sure. I think Rome was being sarcastic. I don't know for sure, but you'd think that if I were the Hughes parents, I would root for, cheer them on equally. Just want all my kids to play well. To you, Clay, you deserve it. I'm ready to go broke. I'm willing. No, I don't want you to go broke. Say that for $1 for every Canucks win, that could be up to $50. Tristan, save that money and do something for yourself. But thank you for the thought. Where does Di Giuseppe and Oman stack up in depth compared to Bains? Wouldn't management coaches prefer veterans? Yeah, Justin, nice to see you. Great question, because if they, I think the pecking order right now is Oman, Bains, Di Giuseppe, because that's the order that they lasted in preseason. Oman, you need waivers he has to clear waivers, and they didn't want to risk that. So that's why he's there. Versatile as a center. I think Bains, they see a lot of potential. And Di Giuseppe is just a solid guy that you can plug in. But the fact that they were willing to waive Di Giuseppe tells me he doesn't stack up to the other two right now. Oh, yeah, maybe Ratu. Yeah, it'd be great if Ratu has a great season. Thank you, fangirl. Is JT Miller better than Horvat? I would say so. Lankinen and Sheelovs, both are great goaltenders capable of carrying a heavy load. I think that Lankinen, I really like Lankinen. I think that Sheelovs so far has Tocchet's trust, though. And I think that despite my horrible prediction in Canucks After Dark prediction contest, Sheelovs, though, is easier to go down to Abbotsford once Demko is completely healthy. But so I like them both. I hope they both play well, but I do think that Sheelovs is probably going to start the season better. Yeah, for sure, Rome. And it was Ratu. Thank you. Donate the amount of wins. Yeah, that's what I mean. So you could do it at the end of the season. Yeah, do it. Don't donate $1 at a time. Just save it all to the end of the season. For sure. Is McDaniel, I think you mean McDavid, better than Crosby? Right now he is. What do you call when a hockey player plays on the opposite side, right-handed instead of left-handed, vice versa? I don't know. This sounds like you're setting up to a punchline of a joke, but if you're actually asking me, I don't know. You just say the offside. He plays his offside. You've been a fan for 4 years. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me and take pics. You are a legend. We love you. Thank you, Tristan. That is very kind of you. I love a lot of the community as well. What's your score prediction for the game on Wednesday? I'll donate the total goal amount in dollars if you're right. Okay. Well, RNG, I'm not sure if you were here yesterday when I was joking around about 4-2, but I got to stick to my roots. I'm guessing 4-2 until it happens. So 4-2 Canucks is my official prediction. So the Canucks need to avoid an Oilers start last year for the first month, and we should be okay until Demko comes back. I agree with you, Justin. I agree with you for sure. Oh, it's a joke. Sorry, Alfred. Offside. What do you call when a hockey player playing on the opposite side? McDavid doesn't even cook for himself. Well, neither can I. I think it's wise to ride Shelov's a bit more. For sure, he's going down to Abbotsford when Demko returns, then keeps Lankinen fresher. Good point. Although you want to make sure that Lankinen's playing well. Graduating high school, I found you when I started in grade 8. Yes. And you got 3 A's on your math. Awesome. Oh, Tristan, you're graduating high school. So you're the same age as Kayla. Hey, Mehak Deep. I saw you at the preseason game on the screen with your daughter. Yeah, someone else mentioned that actually in Canucks After Dark that I didn't get to acknowledge in this. That was you. Yes, we were on the screen, more so because the woman sitting next to me was dancing all night trying to get on to the screen. All right, friends, it is going to be midnight by the time I wrap up. Thank you for being here. I'm going to wrap up here. Thank you for joining Parker and me if you did double duty and if you were on Canucks After Dark as well. Moderators, thank you for keeping this a safe and respectful place. Members, that's legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Enter Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members. Thanks for your support. And to everyone else, thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. I'm just going to finish your questions off real quick before I do. Kids are doing great. Jake is still bowling. Yeah, he's been Team Canada 3 years in a row. Do you think preseason needs to be shorter with all the injuries? Yeah, I think they can go down to 3 or 4 games and just find other ways to evaluate. The veterans don't like playing them. Look at the salary cap for the Oilers. They can maintain their competitive roster this year, next year. Yeah, they're okay until McDavid's big extension kicks in, whatever that's going to be. Contests, I will, come on Thursday. I'll be doing some giveaways for sure. We could do a gritty dance duel, just not tonight. Same time tomorrow, 11 p.m. My word is as good as gold. I trust you, RNG. And you're double duty. That is awesome. You're right. This is the last. No, I got one more. Ricky, I got a show tomorrow night at 11. So that will be my last CCC of the off season. Okay, now I will wrap up. So thank you everyone for being here. On your way out, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you don't have to. You can leave a late donation, gift a late membership, upgrade your own membership, buy your own membership, use your monthly membership message, or listening on a podcast platform. Make sure you rate and review. Thanks to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate and Coach Patrick Liu, weight loss coach. Don't forget, you can buy Canuck Clay merch at canuckclay.threadless.com. And don't forget, I got shows Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. The big ones on Thursday. Well, Wednesday is going to be a post game, which is exciting. Tomorrow we'll do a last preview, and then Thursday will be a big stream. We'll give away some merch, including some Canucks tickets if all of you guys are good. Gosh, I just treated you like you were my kids or something. So make plans to join me tomorrow night at 11 p.m. And thank you to those who went above and beyond. That was Elfrin with the $5 donation, RNG with the $2 donation, with the promise to donate $6 on Wednesday night if the Canucks indeed win the game by a score of 4-2. I was like number 18. Number 18 in what? Did I miss something, Yu-Gi-Oh? What were you number 18 in? Thank you, Rome, for the great stream. No, Father Lee, not your father. How's that, Tristan? Okay, you guys are great. And welcome, Edison, but I'm wrapping up right now. So as always, don't forget to rate the joke out of 10. I think this one's a pretty good one, so we'll see what you guys think. I do always look at your ratings just as I'm ending off the stream. So as always, thanks for being here. Hope to see you tomorrow night at 11 p.m. for another CCC. And hopefully I have my 4th straight win of a winning record, 4th straight week of a winning record in bowling. We shall see. You guys are awesome. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. I was at the store earlier today and I tried to tell the cashier a joke, but it didn't seem to register. God bless and go Canucks go. Booyah.